On the seventh day of eChristmas, my true love said to me, hello and welcome. My name's Nathan Lomax, co-founder of Quickfire Digital.
Hello everyone, I'm Gav Willis and I'm from Search 7.
Today we're going to bring you our latest episode from our new campaign, the 12 Days of eChristmas.
Hope you enjoy it. There's going to be loads of tips, loads of advice, getting you ready for 2021.
Hello and welcome to the 7th day of eChristmas. Today it's my huge honour to welcome Maria all the way from Worldpay on the show. Maria, how are you getting on?
Hello, I am so honoured to be here. Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you so much for joining us. Now, of course, before we dive in, I've got so much to ask you, but actually before I do, there's a little character in the corner there in his Rudolph outfit that I must say hello to.
Me.
So Gav, welcome to the show, mate. How's things?
Hi Nathan, I'm very well, thank you. Hi Maria, how are you?
Hello, I'm very well.
Gav, I appreciate we've got about 10 or 15 minutes. Maria's kindly given up some time. As you know, Worldpay are helping to advance the way people pay, bank and invest within the world of retail. Is a huge guest for us to have on the show. So 10 minutes, mate, give it your all. I'll let you start with the first question.
Hi Maria, so question one from me is please can you tell us a little bit more about who you are and what your role is at Worldpay?
Yes, of course. So at Worldpay, we go to market through what we call verticals, which are basically industries. So I run the vertical growth teams. And basically what we do is we use industry insights and our own data because we process over 31 million transactions any given day. So that's a lot of data. And what we do is we just build propositions that are hyper-targeted to our customers. Because as you can imagine, the challenges and actually the strategy of an airline is very, very different to the one of an insurance company or a fashion retailer.
Very good. And so, Maria, I'm really interested to know, obviously 2020 has been a hell of a year. It doesn't matter what sector you're in, what your background is, anything like that, you would have been in some way affected, right? And so for the team at Worldpay, how's this affected you guys this year? I mean, we've seen online sales go through the roof, so I'd like to think that Worldpay has actually had a fairly bumpy year.
Yeah, I mean, it's been crazy, right, this year. And as you say, we've seen a lot of growth on e-commerce, but we've also seen a lot of struggling companies more in the traditional point of sale. So, and on the airline industry, for example, that we talked before. So I guess it's been a bit of mixed feelings, but what we have seen is that, and especially now in the ramp up for Christmas, is that actually people are still willing to spend and to buy, right? So maybe they do it and the way they do it has changed. So their shopping habits are different to the ones they were maybe 6 months ago. But this has pushed the industry probably 5 years ahead. Everything has gone digital. Black Friday and Cyber Monday have been the craziest ever. So as you say, like e-commerce is really playing a very, very important part. And we even expect that e-commerce is going to grow 24% year on year this year. And to put it into perspective, last year it was only 15%.
Right, that's awesome. I mean, I'm really interested to understand with alternative payment methods and we see new entrants to the market all the time, right? I'm really interested to see how Worldpay have adapted this year and what we can expect from retail as a whole next year. I mean, we just had Klarna on the yesterday in terms of the eChristmas. We've had some amazing guests on this series, and there's some really exciting predictions for where we think that retail is going to go. So from your experience, where do you see retail going in 2021?
Yeah, so funny enough, we did a survey where we asked 33,000 people across the world if they had changed their shopping habits, and 90% said that they had, right? And to be honest, this is more like not really by choice, but by a lack of choice, which is maybe, I guess, unfortunate. But e-commerce is definitely the clear winner, and this brings tons of opportunity around payments, like you were saying, right? For us, digital wallets are now a must, right? They already represent 50% of retail e-commerce sales globally, but we're expecting to grow to 60% in the next 3 years. So the beauty of these payment methods is that shoppers find them very convenient and very easy to use. But funny enough, other things that we've seen on research is that depending on the generation, like the older generations don't feel that comfortable, and they need to be reassured about the security around those payment methods. So it's just very important that now that the pandemic has kind of leveled out the e-commerce world for everyone, really. Doesn't matter how old you are. So it's not the new generation C driving all of the change. It's the over 55s as well. They have no other way to pay. So it's very important for all of the retailers to step up and make sure that they are kind of, handling and making all of the communication the right way so that everyone feels comfortable with that. And a very similar approach, we were talking about Klarna before with buy now, pay later, right? This is the fastest growing payment method that we've seen.
Yeah,
right
massively
now.
so.
Massive.
You mentioned something there about digital wallets. For those that are listening that perhaps don't know what a digital wallet is, perhaps you could expand on that a little.
Yes, sorry. So for sure, like a digital wallet is just like a wallet. When you have your wallet, you have all of your cards in there, but it's just online and it's digital. And so basically you can have that type of a PayPal digital wallet. You can have more like an Apple Pay, for example, completely linked to your phone. And those mobile commerce, which is also another big piece that is happening, has also pushed a lot of these digital wallets to be the preferred payment method. So that's on one side. But also the other piece is that in store, cash is no longer accepted in many places, right? So now you need to bring a lot of the times your phone, or instead of having to bring your wallet with all of your of your cards in there, you bring your phone with all of your cards gathered in that digital wallet, and you can just tap on contactless in there.
Perfect.
Brilliant. Cheers, Maria. That's fantastic. Another question from me. So introducing new gateways to the market, reducing commissions and minimizing friction at checkout is still a hugely untapped opportunity. But what are your thoughts on how retailers can take this to the next level in 2021?
So for me, that's a very good point. Like user experience or shopper experience is everything, right? And despite we had been talking in retail about this for a while, and we had seen what we were calling the retail apocalypse before COVID, where a lot of the high street stores were closing. Now it's only making it worse, right? The pandemic is making it worse. So all of the retailers need to think, what is convenient, what is easy for the shopper. And I think the next level is across all channels, right? So there's no longer a face-to-face in-store checkout experience or an online one or a social media one. Everything has to be fully aligned and it has to be pretty much the same. So the retailers need to put the shopper at the center and then define the strategy around that. And payments is key around that, right? Because what you don't want to do is spend a lot of money trying to bring people at the top of the funnel, either in the store with a lot of people going to the stores or the traffic into online. And then once they have their product, once they're ready to pay, you lose them. So those pieces and 1% increase in acceptance rate at that point makes a massive impact on your bottom line.
Yeah.
Well, if you increase 1% of conversion at the top of the funnel, it might not even have any impact on your bottom line, right? So I think we're working with a lot of our retailers to help them prioritize what are the pieces that are going to make an impact right now. And consistent payment methods, like we were talking about, digital wallets across all of their channels, and making sure that is one click when you need it, or that is invisible payments sometimes if you're having subscriptions, which is now very fashionable in fashion, right? So all of those things just need to be part, and they need to talk to the preferences of the shopper.
Right, this is fantastic. I'm really enjoying this. I've got a question for you. I don't know if you're a gambling lady, but let's for now pretend you are. We have one trend. You're allowed to pick one trend that's going to take e-commerce by storm in 2021. What's it going to be and why?
So I'm going to say social commerce.
Nice. Okay. Why social commerce?
So because we've been talking about social forever, right? But social was only used as a marketing tool, really. So it was more about awareness and making sure that you build your brand with your shoppers. But now, and especially with the pandemic, and I don't know if you saw that Facebook announced that there was a 50% increase in Facebook users in the last 6 months and 70% increase in Facebook Messenger in the areas where there was lockdown. So actually the pandemic has taken social commerce to the next level, where people could not socialize, they needed to be part of a community. So now buying and making that marketing channel a real sales channel has to be core to pretty much every retailer. And on a lot of our research, we're also seeing that already 50% of the shoppers are likely to buy using social media. So that it is very, very important that everyone starts thinking into what is the role that they're going to play and how can they monetize this, kind of what used to be a marketing tool before that is now really a sales channel.
Brilliant, brilliant. So for me, Maria, the one thing that we have to ask, and we always ask this at the very end, is that it's question number 7. It is finally the big question. What's on the top of your own Christmas list this year?
Yeah, so if it would have been any other year, I would probably have read out like all of the things that I wanted for having been such a good girl this year. But actually, right now, I think it's kind of a crazy year, and we are in a big crisis that despite having pushed a lot of innovation that we've talked about, so it's kind of exciting on that front, there has been a lot of struggles as well. Many of our merchants are going through furloughs and administration, so it is pretty tough, plus adding all of the health issues that are happening in the world. So I don't want to sound like I want like peace on earth, but to be honest, I think this year is all about health and stability for everyone. I am very lucky to still be working at Worldpay and doing a lot of amazing things and being with my family and everyone being healthy. So I really hope that the same for everyone.
Man, that's amazing. I mean, we had Lauren from Shopify on, and she's so nice, and we had a great chat with her. And I think she wanted a waffle maker or something. So there's a whole mixture there in terms of what we want and what we want. I hope you're listening. I hope you feel awful, but no, it's it's been so lovely to have you on. You've given some amazing insight there. It's lovely to catch up with you. And like I say, let's hope we can work together more and more in 2021. But for those that are listening, I hope you've enjoyed it. Another fantastic day in our run up to the 12 days of eChristmas. Maria, thank you again for your time, and I look forward to seeing you again soon.
Yeah,
Cheers,
thanks,
Maria.
guys,
thank you
for having me.